Hello, it's day 116
of the 29th year and beyond.
Well, today I wanted to talk about control.
Control.
No, not Janet Jackson. Control. It appears that more times than not, when you find yourself in a relationship, someone feels the need to be dominant, right? Mm-hmm. Someone feels the need to control what's going on, how things are going to occur, who does what, and all those kinds of things. And we can hit this from a variety of ways, right? But what are your thoughts about having that control? One of the persons being in control in a marriage or in a love relationship.
I don't believe that it's healthy for any one person to be in control of everything. I think that, there may be some areas where a person is more talented. Say, for instance, my mom's an excellent budget person. So she's always done the budget for her and my dad. Where my dad is an excellent shopper and finding bargains, so he always shopped. So there was a balance there. And I think that's where it gets to be dangerous. I think when you have one person that needs to control everything, what you wear and what time you're leaving for this, and everybody's going to sit down and talk at this time, and everybody has to do this and everybody has to do that, and all our money is in one account, and that one person is controlling how you're paying everything. I think it can get to be very, very dangerous if you have one person that is dominant.
Well, and make no mistake, there are responsibilities and obligations, and persons have to be, accountable for those things in order for you to have stability and, for things to work out in your marriage. However, when you're talking about being controlling, then that's not a loving act. Controlling, because when you're controlling and you're basically calling all the shots and basically dictating what will and what won't happen, that's more manipulation or coercion, and that has nothing to do with love. Just as Gail said, there you will find, as you grow together, you will find that there's just certain things that each of you will effortlessly just kind of like slide into, because of what you're passionate about, right? Because of what you're just naturally excellent at. But then there are those opportunities where you have to have some discussions and say, okay, these are areas that we need to address. These are responsibilities that we have. What's going to be the best way for us as a couple, as a family, to make certain that we're taking care of everything we need to take care of? And so it's not about control as much as it is about collaboration.
Because if you don't collaborate, say for instance, if one person is a more dominant personality, and sometimes that just happens, and they're doing everything, they're making sure that this is done, and that eventually they get wore out, they get exhausted, and then they're angry because this person over here is just sort of laid back going, oh, okay, yeah, well, he's got that or she's got that, and then you feel like you're overburdened, so the control can come back to bite you in the behind, basically. So I think that you have to be willing to collaborate, and you have to be willing to compromise, and everybody has to be willing to contribute their strengths.
Well, she says when you have one that's a strong, domineering kind of person, well, what happens when you have two, such as in our case? You have two people who are very strong, who are very capable and competent. Again, we're talking about having a loving and healthy relationship. And so it's never going to be about controlling. And I know traditionally a lot of men think, okay, I run things and all that kind of stuff. I get that. However, when the Bible in Ephesians, in the 5th chapter, Ephesians, up around the 22nd chapter, tells wives to submit to their husbands as unto the Lord, and then husband loves your wife as Christ loved the church. It has nothing to do with being a dictator or manipulating or anything else. It talks about a loving responsibility. It says love your wife as Christ loved the church, and he gave his life for the church. So when you talk about being the head, it's about being responsible as the priest for your family, the protector, the provider. It's all of those things, but not the controller.
Yeah.
right? Not a dictator.
Because God doesn't even, He gives us free will.
Free will. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, when you think about control, the reality is you don't control a thing, right? But you want to collaborate. You want to be able to contribute and not control
And compromise.
for the health and the welfare of your marriage. Until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same.
Bye.